Breaking news story has just come in, as you can see on the touch screen. How does Mr. Eboa get out? Please find a way of getting him out. He has to go home. His family is waiting. So you have to turn the screen for me, Mumin. Yes. This is the breaking news story. I just texted a few people when I got the story. And some people said it's not true, some said it's true, etc., etc. It's in the period of the politics. Every time they are targeting people. There is a grand scheme targeting Okatakyie Afrifa and Adom, engineered by Felix Ofosu and his gang. The duo are going to be vilified by some media personalities across the country. Most of the morning show hosts have been paid to attack these two. Just watch and listen to some of these media personalities on their shows. It's a paid agenda. I don't know. Yaobi Menu is texting me, says the same thing. Okay, it's all over social media. I don't believe it. Felix Ofosu is not that kind of person. He's not going to, he doesn't do that. Felix Ofosu doesn't do that. But you never know, in politics you never know. So this is the breaking news story that's just coming to us. It was posted by PK Sapon. It's been posted by other people all over social media. And it says, I think somebody even actually read a text. On the text message, it also came. It says that there is a grand scheme targeting Okatakyie Afrifa, mensah, and Adom, engineered by Felix Ofosu and his gang. Who are the gang? Who are the gang? The duo are going to be vilified by some media personalities across the country. Most of the morning show hosts have been paid. Most. I'm sure that doesn't include Joy FM and City FM, and they don't vilify personalities. They deal with the issues, they deal with the topics. They don't go about vilifying personalities. I really don't believe that Felix Ofosu will sit in a place and do that, because he likes to talk, he likes to argue, he likes to make his point. And when he was making his point on Good Morning Ghana, when Akufo-Addo was president, nobody asked him any question. He was allowed to make his point. So they should just allow us to make that point. The battle is intellectual. So let's intellectualize. Say yours, let me say mine, and let's deal with it. You heard Alban Bagwin saying that he has rejected an appointment from the president because of a principle of governance and corporate governance in terms of parliament's supervisory authority over the executive, and he doesn't want that conflict of interest to be around him. So this grand scheme targeting Okatakyie Afrifa, mensah, and Adom has been engineered by Felix Ofosu and his gang. I really don't believe that, but this is all over social media. The two of them are going to be vilified. How are you going to vilify that we've said something that's not true or is true? Anyway, so that's the breaking news story. Now let's get to the NPP conversation about what happened today. All right. So, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia came first in the last primaries and represented the NPP at the election. Kennedy Ohiene Japan came second, and he's running again. Dr. Osei Oduchum has indicated that he's also running for the position. And Kwabena Ejay Japan has told me personally that he's preparing to start in July. So what happened at the NPP delegates, the National Executive Meeting and the National Council meeting? Two meetings occurred today. Now, before then, there's a proposal, a document put together by a committee, a legal committee led by Mr. Frank Davis, one of the seasoned barristers of Ghana. Frank Davis chaired the committee, and then they put a document together. The document was supposed to reform some of the practices within the NPP in how they arrive at selecting presidential candidates, selecting polling station executives, selecting constituency executive and regional executives. So Frank Davis led the group to put that document together. Now that document this afternoon was submitted to the National Executive Committee, and the National Executive Committee is chaired by the chairman. Of course, Chairman Intim was unavailable, so Chairman Bute chaired. When we were monitoring in the morning, I think there was some confusion about whether Chairman Bute should legitimately chair, being the first vice chairman in the absence of the chairman. I think that was resolved in favor of Chairman Bute chairing, so he did chair. The proposals were taken. At the end of the day, these proposals, majority of them, will be given to a Congress on July 19th, I hear. and the Congress is entitled the MPP National Delegates Conference that they say will take place in Accra at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium, and there the delegates will receive the proposals. One thing though that the delegates will not be doing is to choose a date for the presidential election. What the MPP has done, which is novel today, is that as far as 2028 battle is concerned, the MPP is deciding to choose the flag bearer before they choose the other national executives. Hitherto, what happened was that the election process begins with the polling station executives. So they elect polling station executives, then they elect constituency executives, then they elect regional executives, then they elect national executives, and when the national executives arrive, they form the National Executive Committee, and in that National Executive Committee they will set up a timetable for the presidential elections. Somehow that has changed now, and it appears that it's quite a popular change. It would appear also that that change is very good for the MPP, given the disarray in which the party now is, following from the fallouts of the election of 2024. It might be very necessary for the MPP in the shortest possible time to achieve leadership. And then with that leadership, people can fall in line, structures can be put together, and then they will be ready to run the election. Mind you that the NDC would have to go through the same process. Now, the NDC is in a first term like a second term. What it means is that President John Dramani Mahama cannot run for president again. I think that the argument has been firmly settled in Parliament over the last 2 days, with Supreme Court judge nominee after Supreme Court judge nominee expressing clarity that the constitutional provisions in the article in 60 or 63 is very, very clear, it's unambiguous, that every individual can only serve 2 terms as president and no more, and there's no ambiguity about that. So it will appear that over the last 2 days that matter has been firmly settled. Therefore, John Dramani Mahama, serving his second term as president of Ghana, cannot proceed to run for election, however you look at it. So the NDC would have to choose its own candidates, and according to the NDC calendar, they probably will do that in 2027. What do we know? We know already that the battle is beginning to rage between Julius Debra, the chief of staff, who is marauding to win, and then Johnson Asiedu Nketia, the eternal party chairman, who believes that this is an opportunity and he has worked enough to gain this. So that's going to be a big contest. Recently, at the weekend, I was talking to one important NDC person, and he told me that there's a third leg of the conversation. The third leg of the conversation is that Professor Jenano Opokwa-Agyeman is going to be pushed to be the flag bearer with a running mate of Idris Haruna, the Minister for Education. That looks like an interesting ticket. On Julius Debra's ticket, if he wins, people say that Ibrahim Mahama, the president's brother, is being thought about as the running mate. On Johnson Asiedu Nketiah's ticket, if he wins, people say that Speaker Bagbin, Alban Sumanu Kingsford Bagbin, is being thought of as running mate if Johnson Asiedu Nketiah wins. So you're going to have Asiedu Nketiah and Bagbin ticket on one leg, Julius Debra and Ibrahim Mahama on another leg, and Jenano Opokwa-Agyeman and Idris Haruna on another leg. I don't know how that's going to pan out, but the fact is that the NDC are going to have to choose a presidential candidate. In view of that, many of the analysts think that the MPP's decision today is the best decision for the party given the disarray. Ignore the polling station, ignore the constituency, ignore the region, and go straight for the flag bearer. I think for these people on the television here, this is very good for them because they're going to have to spend less money. So right from today until January, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia is going to concentrate on getting people to re-elect him as the party's flag bearer. He doesn't have to worry about who am I supporting in polling station 1. There are 43,000 polling stations. He doesn't have to worry about who am I supporting in polling station 2 up to 43,000. He doesn't have to worry about that now. He'll worry about that later, but not now. He doesn't have to worry about constituencies. There are 276 constituencies. He doesn't have to worry about who am I supporting in which constituency. He doesn't have to worry about which regional chairman am I supporting. Am I supporting Chairman Wuntumi to be regional chairman again, or am I supporting Goka to be regional chairman? He doesn't have to worry about. Kennedy Japan here also doesn't have to worry about that. They all have to focus on selling their message to the delegates. The MPP also said something today. They say that there will be a minimal expansion of the Electoral College that elects the presidential candidate. We know that the Electoral College is polling station executives, constituency executives, regional executives, and the national executives, and sometimes former national executives. Today, they put a new agenda which will be endorsed by the Congress in July at Legon. What they are suggesting is that as far as polling station is concerned, Each polling station has 5 executives. There should be 2 more added. The bragging rights. Eventually, Arsenal went and Usman Dombele taught them a lesson, and they also accepted it. The MPP have been taught a big lesson by the NDC in 2024, heavily defeated, thrown into disarray, and they have understood it. They have accepted it, and they have to put their thinking caps on, and they said, this is what we need to do to bounce ourselves back into the authority of the Ghanaian government. So that's the story now. Good luck to all of these. Perhaps, and the other thing that I have to add is that the NPP have also taken away the superdelegates. So in the unlikely event that there are 20 aspirants that eventually show up for the contest, all 20 aspirants will be on the ballot in January. But that's very unlikely. So we are thinking that in addition to these 1, 2, 3, 4, perhaps there would be maybe 1 or 2 more. There's a Boache Jako
for the flag bearership of the